Waxi boots were without a doubt an icon of Cold War sub-Saharan Africa. They were a product of the gargantuan distances and supreme athleticism defined by the elite forces that needed to use them. It wasn't uncommon for them to ruck marathons in these things. They were developed during a time of economic and diplomatic isolation, but they ended up influencing the West's tactics and equipments for decades to come. They were the brainchild of the SADF's recces, basically the cream of the crop of the SADF. Fighting insurgents demanded a mixture of both long-term endurance, but also quick bursts of speed, and the Waxis provided. Traditional boots that were used in World War II and many other theaters were way too stiff and way too heavy. Ugh, definitely not ideal for the bush. Jungle boots were a little newer, but they didn't provide exactly what they wanted, and well, South Africa doesn't necessarily look like a jungle. Recces and Rhodesian Selu Scouts went to the private market for a solution, and they found tackies, which is basically another word for tennis shoes or hockey shoes. Basically, they were nothing better than a pair of Chuck Taylor All-Stars. So durability was pretty much out of the question. With all of those other problems in mind, they also needed to be untraceable, so they would sand the soles of their boots and shoes flat in order to leave not necessarily detectable footprints. The first Waxi-like boots were actually custom commissioned ones that had an already flat sole, so durability was a little better. But as soon as they perfected the design, the Waxi as we know it, including the manufacturer, was born. They're half boot, but also half sneaker. They have the benefits of both. They're thin and flexible, but they're durable. They have a full grain cowhide construction, just like a normal pair of boots. So again, that leather is thin and breathable. South Africans wore these with thick socks, and it was because the socks would be able to wick the moisture away from your feet, and the boots would basically do the rest of the work. They would let the heat out, meaning that these were comfortable all day long. These are the full combat variant, and they feature the prominent double buckle lace guard, which was kind of a callback to their Rhodesian roots. Boots of Bush War past, if you will. Basically what this does is it makes all ankle height irritations, things, brush and grass, a non-issue. So these are a little more protective than your standard Waxi boot. Another important difference that you're going to be able to pick out is sole type, and this is an important one. Anti-track, as you can see, is completely flat on the bottom, just like those sanded ones that I mentioned earlier. These anti-track soles were originally intended to conceal your footprint. Basically, it would put a big old print on the ground, but it would appear washed out almost immediately, so trackers would get confused or maybe even lost. Now, of course, not everybody gets to use them for that, so what I'd like to say is that compare these to a good pair of Vans skate shoes. They have a durometer rubber that helps you stick to the ground more than you would expect. Of course, you could always play it safe and get the traditional lugged sole. Manufacturing matters. These very boots were handmade by the same exact family that did back in the Bush War and continued to supply the SADF for decades, even today. And with the Goodyear welted sole, which basically means that they're replaceable, the life of the boot is basically as long as the upper lasts, which is a mighty long time. If you want to check out a pair for yourself, go to commandostore.com/Waxi. You can pre-order a pair, or you can grab a pair that's in stock, but either way, you're gonna get something that's perfect for your feet. If you like content like this, subscribe to the channel, but also go and sign up for our mailing list at commandostore.com/sign-up. We do in-depth breakdowns, basically just like this, twice a week on all sorts of different products that we get in. You're frankly missing out if you're not on the mailing list already. So be sure to go sign up, subscribe, and we'll see you next time.